Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy. What's up, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, most entertaining fantasy show on the planet. I'm Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
It's time for some Fluke for real, baby. We got a handful of performances from week 7 we're going to talk about here and tell you if it's fluke, if it's for real, what we think, and going forward, the actionable items for what you should be doing. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's do it. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, join the Discord, and let's talk about it, Wes. Quarterbacks. Joe Flacco. These old men here. We got a few guys to talk about, but Joe Flacco starts us off nearly 32 fantasy points. Whew. Okay. What do we do with Flacco?
This is for real. Give me the guy that has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as his wide receivers. I like this ceiling. I don't know how many times he's going to get over 30 points, but I think he will still at times Flacco and have some down games. But yeah, you need to fill in your quarterback position. You got injuries, you got bye weeks. Flacco's available. This is for real. Roll him out. I like what he's going to do.
I like what he's going to do as well. I think he is a good option for you, especially with what is, I guess, this year's bye-mageddon with all these teams on bye week. So I agree. Yeah. Matthew Stafford, one of those quarterbacks on a bye week, but just about 38 fantasy points on 182 passing yards, but 5 touchdowns, man. No Puka. He should be a little limited. They should rely on Kyron Williams. God.
Wow. That's our answer.
Stafford's awesome. Yeah, Stafford's awesome, man. You can keep playing him. Obviously not on the bye week. I don't think he'll score you very many points, but
yeah, is that your vibe? Dude,
might score you more than Tua.
Experts.
So, I mean,
yeah, it would be better to have left your quarterback position empty than start Tua.
Yeah. So
week 7. Very cool. Okay.
Anyways, Aaron Rodgers.
This is YouTube. You can't do that.
30. I was just working at a thing.
You're stretching.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, 30.56 fantasy points, 4 touchdowns for him.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
He could do this again.
In fact, he's already done this
more consistently. Score 30 points, maybe not, but you can do worse.
Yeah. I like this. This is for real.
This can be for real. This can be for real. This can be for real for sure. I mean, there'll be weeks where it's Arthur Smith and you give Jonnu Smith 3 jet sweeps that go for touchdowns and Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw a touchdown. So it's a possibility, but yeah, wow. Can you believe this? He threw 4 touchdowns and none of them went to DK Metcalf.
That's irritating.
Imagine what happens if he targets DK Metcalf in those situations. Yeah. So jumping into the running backs here, Wes. Jaylen Warren, teammate of Aaron Rodgers, 19.8 fantasy points. Gainwell filled in fine, but it feels like this is Warren's backfield. They paid him like it's Warren's backfield before the season started. He's coming back from injury. I'm happy with the PPR value. I'm happy with the carries. I don't know if he is this efficient on the ground again this year, but he's a guy who can be an RB, a flex play, RB2. How high is he fall into? He's not like top 12 level, is he?
No, not quite, but I do think that Jaylen Warren has proven himself to be the best running back. I know Kenneth Gainwell has a lot of good moments in each of these games since Warren's been back, but Warren, his bread and butter when Najee Harris was there is that he was a great pass blocker, and that is a golden ticket to be on the field with Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah,
even when they're not playing a bad Bengals defense, the 5 targets and 4 catches is really good. So even if he can't get, like you said, that same kind of yards per carry, there's still really a good chance he's going to get close to 15 points on a weekly basis. So I say for real.
Okay, cool. What about this guy, Kyle Monangai? 17.4 fantasy points, 81 yards and a touchdown, couple of catches in there. Is this Detroit? Is this Detroit 2.0 with Ben Johnson, or is this more of a fluke situation?
We're getting there. 2026. Might be the year that we start to see that kind of tandem. But right now, I need to say Fluke. It's like not yet because DeAndre Swift is still doing really well. When that begins to change and Monangai is the better of the two, kind of like with like J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. Like even if R.J. Harvey starts to do more and more, it's still Dobbins' backfield. He's still the main guy. So it's just not yet for me with Monangai. But I think eventually it could just be as late as next season. But I'm not gonna start him though. I'm not gonna start him anywhere.
I think I agree. Good dynasty pick if you have him, but I think redraft, it's not gonna be super consistent for you. I don't think it's like a takeover. I don't think it's a sign of things to come. I think it's better dynasty pick than for redraft this year. So okay, Rhamondre Stevenson. Here, let's do this. I'm Rhamondre Stevenson.
Okay.
All of you watching are us that drafted Travion Henderson in the 4th round.
Okay.
You idiot. I hate myself. I hate the Patriots. I hate Mike Vrabel. I hate all of this, but this is for real. And the new regime comes in and handpicks their running back with the 38th overall pick in the draft. And this is what we get. This is what we get. So
according
it's my
to
fault.
plan.
It's my fault for believing that they would use the guy that they picked top 40. It's my fault.
You stupid idiot.
Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, no, yeah.
Was it a 4th running back?
Yeah, no, it's all my
4th running back drafted.
I sent you like a mean tweet when Gibson got hurt, and it was like projected Patriots depth chart now with Gibson out, and it was like Rhamondre Stevenson, Shane Vereen, Stephen Ridley, Travion Henderson, and I was like, ha, that's so funny. And now I'm like,
Poor Daryl Patterson, James White,
Jonnu Smith. Good Lord. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. This is I don't want to take it away from Rhamondre. Looked pretty good. I know it was the Titans, but Rhamondre looked good, and he's a good fantasy asset, so you can keep rolling him out. On a good offense, Patriots are really good. Patriots are good.
Best team in the AFC East. Number one.
Good team. Yeah. Let's talk about Ashton Jeanty here. 4.4 fantasy points. His team got their asses whooped.
Pretty lightly.
Dude, and victory formation before the 2-minute warning, and Vegas doesn't even call timeouts. They have 3 timeouts. The Chiefs go to kneel the ball with 2:40 left in the game, and Carroll's like, let's get off the field. Let's just get out of here.
I think that is the best coaching decision he's made all season. Smartest decision
he could have made. Yeah. It's frustrating. Jeanty had been looking good. This is a fluke, but I mean, I think you come back after the bye week. Maybe Jacoby Myers is still there. I don't know. There's trade rumors, but you definitely get Brock Bowers back to help the offense run a little better. You got some young receivers to help you out there. It'll get better. I think some rust is getting shaken off, and when you play a really good team with a good offense, good defense like the Chiefs, you're not going to do very good when you're not a good team. So, but True. This sucks.
Yeah, they're bad.
I wish he was a workhorse. Fault. Yeah, I wish Quinshon Judkins gets the work. Why does use him that same way on a bad offense? That's kind of where I'm at. I wish they would use him the same way, but and Travion. Okay, Saquon Barkley, 5.2 fantasy points. We don't put out a victory lap video anymore, Wes. We didn't, just because we're not in podcast format anymore. We're just doing YouTube content, so it doesn't happen as much. It's just a short segment, but this would be on it, man. This was a good call by 4th and Troll. We were both out on Saquon at ADP. We said it's a historic season. He's not going to return the value where you're drafting him, and it's worse than I even thought. He's still a top 20 running back, but I was so high on AJ Brown because this team is going to have to throw the football more. This is going to have to be a part of their game. It's going to be less Saquon and more passing game. Seen that with Dallas Goedert. Seen that with games where Devontae Smith sets his career high in receiving. Seen that where they get AJ Brown more involved, but Saquon's not the whole offense anymore, is what we're saying, and what we foresaw, and what is correct.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we've seen with every 2,000-yard rusher, except for Chris Johnson. Every one of them has had a significant regression. If you want to go into all the history, O.J. Simpson actually had a really good season the next year. So, you look at just how difficult it is when you are the offense. And then, of course, Saquon goes to wins the Super Bowl, so he played even more games after that too. And it's I'm actually a little surprised he's not injured. I don't want him to get injured. I don't want to jinx that either. But like, that's another factor, is that there's just not the same efficiency. And this is historic. This is exactly in line with what we've seen throughout NFL history. And I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he got 18 carries though. So obviously you're going to keep starting him, and this is just the way it is. But this is, to answer the question, this is for real. This is what you're going to have to deal with.
And you're hoping he's a little more efficient. You're hoping he scores. He's been above that, 15-point mark a handful of times this season, but I'm not happy if I drafted that guy 101 or 102 or 103. 17 points. I'm not raising the roof for that shit. Like, this is Tank Bigsby had a quarter of the rushing yards that Saquon Barkley had on one carry. Like, I know that's obviously you just break away on a run or something like that, but
yeah, I
also think the O-line has been worse. I don't want to just diss Saquon so much. It's all those factors plus I don't think
Lane Johnson was back.
The offensive line hasn't been good.
No, they're not the same.
I will.
I wanted to. Sorry, one more victory lap. One more victory lap. We had a comment some time ago where people were like, "Hey," because we were talking about how Saquon is not getting the PPR volume that he did, way back in like, with the Giants, with Penn State, and what he had with the Eagles. One target, one catch, negative 2 yards. So that's another thing. Like, this is not who he is with the Eagles. He's not PPR. He's a Nick Chubb type running back there. If he's not scoring, it's like this. Anyway, okay, next guy.
It's been better this year in the receiving game, but clearly not enough. Clearly not equaling out his rushing volume and ability. So there you go. Jacory Croskey-Merritt. I'm not calling this dude Bill anymore. He's on my bench until further notice. I mean, he has been given the opportunity each of the last 2 weeks in good matchups, and he is disappointing. And so if I'm it's Jordan Mason over Jacory Croskey-Merritt for me going forward. It's
Jonathan Taylor.
I was going to say, I don't know if the hype ever got you debating between like DeAndre Swift or Croskey-Merritt, but that's DeAndre Swift. Like, it's ETN, even though he's had down weeks, it's ETN there. And so, this sucks. Yeah, really bad.
This is what
hopefully Daniels isn't out for a super long time, so the offense can be a little better. But the offense is just injured more or less. I guess I don't want to make excuses for anyone, but it's not a good offense.
It should have been a better chance for Jacory Croskey-Merritt to have that opportunity with Terry McLaurin missing the entire season, it feels like.
Yeah.
And with Deebo Samuel missing time as well, Jaden Daniels. So, like, all the guys that have the opportunity to carry the football. You have a rushing quarterback, again, a wide receiver is known for carrying the football, taking jet sweeps and handoffs, and they're both out missing time. And he's not, it's like there's all set up for him to have a prove it couple of weeks. And we just see this from the Commanders, where there seems to be a clear running back one for the team, and they just don't seize the moment to be the guy. So this is for real.
We should look into how production is affected by players who hold out. How offensive gelling is affected. Because you think back to just the recent years, Bengals beginning of last year, out of sorts. Cowboys, the year CD got paid and he held out. They never really got humming before Dak got hurt. Like,
yeah.
Way to go.
We can look into it.
Way to ruin the whole game for everybody. Anyways, Travis Hunter. Sure. Let's talk about good wide receivers here. All right. It just NFL pranked me this week because it was just all backwards. But I mean, 24.1 fantasy points. Where are your thoughts at with Travis Hunter as they're going into their bye week and they'll come out after that?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see him become more of the wide receiver one for the team, because this is something that we've talked about before, but like, we were both super out on Brian Thomas Jr. Super out, like not even getting close to top 10. And then you called it last week, like, hey, I want to see Travis Hunter be the number 2 overall pick in the draft. I don't think that's going to happen. And then he kind of did become this guy. But something that we've also looked at is that between the two positions he plays, with wide receiver and cornerback, the need is the wide receiver because the defense is actually pretty good and they're getting turnovers. So Mac Jones is, I think, the reason Brian Thomas Jr. had a great season. And look how great Mac has been. And this just might be who Trevor Lawrence has the chemistry with. And now, yes, Lawrence had the first couple of games with BTJ, but like, this is the guy. I think this is the chemistry. I don't know if I'm going to start him over like wide receiver 2s on my team, but like, if I've got him, I'm so thankful I've held on to him for all this time because I think this will be the trend. He might be a playoff hero. He might be a playoff hero.
He could be.
We'll see
I'm a little pissed off because I was hoping he would just have another bad week and then it would be the bye week and people needed to drop people to be able to pick up players for their lineup. And I would be able to like sneak in and grab Travis Hunter every now and then or in a couple leagues. It's not going to happen anymore. But I think he'll be serviceable for the second half of the season after the bye week for sure. So Xavier Legette, 24.2 fantasy points. This is a fluke, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Don't start him. Keenan Allen, okay, 28.9 fantasy points. This I don't think is a fluke. I think there is the potential here. Maybe 30 points is a fluke for Keenan, but I think he's a meaningful fantasy player in your lineups going forward. And as they get Huge back, all the receivers up there, no running game. Trust Herbert to just kind of be the leader of the offense and just sling it. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and we're recording this on Monday, so we don't know if the Chargers have traded for a running back. We don't know where Breece Hall and Alvin Kamara may or may not have gone. So this feels like that they are still going to be a pass first offense if they do make a trade. Because whoever they trade for, I don't think they're going to trade for a big name running back because they just drafted Amari Hampton in the first round. Like, I know this is like kind of go all in, but like
it'll be someone to hold them over if they do. And I don't know if someone who would hold them over as that much of an upgrade if they want to give away that kind of capital to trade for that when it's just like, you know what? Let's just let Herbert throw it 40 times a game and shift the offense to a passing offense. Like that.
All these pass catchers are doing great. And I think Keenan Allen is going to be he's going to be between the wide receiver 2 and 3 for this season on your team. I think this is all for real still.
Yeah, I agree. He's an easy roster or starting the lineup for me. Okay. Odunze, 5.1, I hope is a fluke, Wes. I hope it's a fluke. He looked really good to start the year, and then a few bad weeks, and then I don't know. I don't think they really needed to throw the ball each of the last 2 weeks.
No, they have not. And as something you pointed out was I didn't realize that he had a touchdown last week or in week 6 that was
he had a touchdown. He had a touchdown in week 6 that was called back on a penalty. So it's you're not worried honestly at all if he had split these 2 bummer games with that, in the double digits there. So I'm going to keep rolling him out. I mean, I think you drafted him to play him, and I think he's shown promise to start the year, and I think they'll just, they'll keep it going. So I agree. I think it's this is a fluke, as my hope. Xavier Worthy, 7.8 fantasy points. It's Rashee Rice. He's back. But this is the kind of player Worthy is. He'll be up and down. He'll hit a big play. It'll be really exciting. I'm still keeping him in my lineup, but I'm adjusting some expectation. I feel bad. Like Worthy hasn't really been able to even get going this year because week 1 he gets hurt on prime time from his own teammate.
Bulldozed
coming back
over by
and he's
Kels.
like he's still kind of recovering there, and they're involving Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown, and then Rice comes back, and it's just like how do you do this here? But Worthy, keep playing him. I think you'll have some great games for sure, but this might be a little more familiar by the end of the year. These 8 to 10 point games.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a Rashi Rice owner in one league. Actually, 2 leagues. One's a dynasty, so
It's awesome.
I don't care about you anymore, Worthy. Sorry.
I love it. Yeah. All right, let's jump into the tight ends here, Wes. Pat Freiermuth. Holy shit. 28 fantasy points. Maybe involve him more. He's good. He's really good. Let him get Luth. Let the Muth get Luth. But I think 28 is a fluke. But I think you could see him be more involved going forward.
It's funny how when the Steelers traded for Jonnu Smith, it was kind of like, well, now they're both useless. And then you have first and it's like, I should have started every tight end that's
my
on the
lineup
Steelers depth chart.
My lineup should have been tight end. Should have been Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington. I should have had all three of them in there. Nice.
So
cool.
Yeah. This was his best game of the season. That I have full confidence in. But if you need to start somebody for these bye weeks, or if you just are interested in having a veteran on the team, you could do a lot worse than Freiermuth for the rest of the season. He's going to have some up and down games. And with the state of tight ends, might as well go with Freiermuth.
Sure. What about this next guy? Oronde Gadsden, 29.4 fantasy points, 7 for 164 and a touchdown. It won't be this good going forward. But we just talked about Keenan and how this is maybe going to be a pass-first offense now until Hampton is healthy. You could do worse. It's a similar argument, I think. It's a similar argument for Freiermuth as it is for Gadsden, but just a little bit of a better offense in LA, or a better quarterback in LA, maybe.
I loved Gadsden coming out of college. I compared him to a Mike Evans for the tight end position. I love his hands. I love him as a receiver. And I know that this is in his future. I'm just not ready to say this is for real off of one game, especially with how good these other pass catchers are, where there's better rapport and the wide receiver position is a little more established there for that Chargers offense. So I can't call this for real yet. I love the guy, but I need to see more.
Valid. Very valid. I'm happy to have him in Dynasty where I do. And I think the future is bright. I think he is going to be really good. And next year after, he's going to really, really excel. So it's going to be a good piece for this offense. All right. George Kittle. Sorry, guys. Not that I called it or anything. Not that I said he's to start him or anything. But it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Here's the thing. Kyle Shanahan revealed that on Saturday night, he told the team, he said, I want to run the football 40 times on Sunday. And so it was never going to be a George Kittle game. Would have loved to know that, Kyle. Would have loved to hear a little bit of that, but it's all good. Which, I mean, why would you not run? The Falcons' pass rush is insane. Falcons, that is a crazy good D-line. And
they've had a good defense for a while, but
they're very, very good. Yeah. So 0 points sucks. He'll come back and be better. He will. It'll be. I have no hesitancy putting my lineup next week. You can go trade for him if someone's freaked out. Go for it. Do it. That's it. That's all I got. You got anything else? I don't know.
No.
You want to hang out later?
No.
Me either. All right. That's going to do it for 4th and Troll Fantasy. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, drop in the comments who was fluke or for real. Any questions you may have, join the Discord. Always having a good time in there. And we will see you next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy.